Today we're going to be looking at the Zipp 302 wheel set. This is a carbon clincher from Zipp, made in Indianapolis, but is a little more budget friendly. And we're going to go over the features of the wheels, a nice overview of them. Then we're going to go in, take a look at both the front and the rear wheels, open up that rear hub so you can see what the internals look like. And then finally, we'll put them on a scale so that way you can know what these actually weigh. This is a aerodynamic road bike wheel set from Zipp, and it's their kind of price point version of a carbon clincher that still offers some real performance and aerodynamic gains. Now, the profile of this wheel is 45 millimeters, which is the same as what you'd see on a Zipp 303, but what's different is the 302 actually does not offer the same dimpled surface that you would get on the 303, and it's got a couple other changes. It's got a more basic hub from them and J-pull spokes. Now, this wheel set is only a couple of years old. It works pretty well, and they went through trying to design it to make a really high-performing wheel that can still be at a more affordable price point. One of the neat things is these are actually still even made here in the United States, in Indianapolis. So you're getting much of the same quality and carbon technology that you would get on a really high-end wheel set. Now, when we talk about the wheels, like I said, it's going to have the 45 millimeter rim depth, which Zipp claims is kind of the aerodynamic sweet spot where you get enough aero performance, but at the same time, it's not so deep that it makes the wheel too heavy or affects badly in crosswinds. And then they do still use the same toroidal shape, kind of that almost egg shape, meaning the brake track itself is not flat, it's concaved in towards the tire, and so it allows the tire to be a leading edge and carry all the way across the wheel. So that ends up being a really aerodynamic shape on this wheel. So let's talk about the 302 front wheel specifically. So this 302 runs 20 spokes in the front. They are radial laced, meaning that they're straight out to the rim. They're not crossing over any of the other spokes, which allows for a laterally stiff wheel and a little bit lighter weight. Now, these Sapien Sprint CX spokes, they are a bladed spoke, so you've got some blades to it, and it goes up to a brass nipple. Now, the brass nipple is a little heavier than if we were to do this with aluminum, but it does allow for an even more durable wheel, something that these Zipp 302s should shine with. So we've got the wheel here. A couple other things to mention: it's a 45 millimeter depth. The width of this wheel is 25.6 millimeters, and the internal width is about 16 1/4. So we're now taking a look at the 302 rear wheel. This is a 24 spoke rear wheel, so 4 more spokes in the front. It is 2 cross as well. If you actually take a look at that, that means you've got one small cross right at the hub flange, and then a second one just a little ways up. And what that ends up doing is it allows for a wheel that's going to be pretty stiff when accelerating without having to be too long of a spoke, so that it still remains light enough. Now, this also uses the CX Sprint Sapien spokes with brass nipples, J-bend of course, and it's going to have the same rim, so the same internal and external width as the front wheel. But let's go ahead and pop this hub apart. So these hubs are actually super easy to take out. You just give it some pressure, pull right up. The hub end cap will come straight off, and then we can pull the whole free hub body off. Now, the free hub body, if we take a look at it here, this is a 3-pawl free hub body. So it's got 3 pawls to it, each one with an individual spring. And then you're going to have one internal bearing and then one external with a a little spacer in the center to keep the spacing right. And then you've got a dual seal, so it's got 2 layers of sealing, which should allow to keep some of the dirt out. If we take a look inside of the hub, you're going to see it's got a pretty nice looking pressed in ratchet ring there, and then it's going to run 2 more bearings, one on the inside, and then of course one on the outside here. So that's actually what's inside of the hub on the Zipp 302. This hub uses the same internals as the 177 rear hub on the higher end wheels, but the 76 is just their J-bend version. Now, to put our free hub body back on, basically all you got to do is line up that spacer, then it's going to press down, and then you can attach the end cap right back onto the hub. So we're going to go ahead and take the 302 front wheel, which does have a rim strip installed, and we'll place it onto our scale here. The 302 front is going to weigh in at 769 grams. And then we'll take our rear wheel here, also with the rim strip installed, and it weighs in at 912 grams. Well, thanks for watching. This is James the Bike Guy. Be sure to subscribe so that way you can see more reviews and in-depth looks at really cool cycling technology. And I look forward to seeing the comments down below, letting me know what you think about these Zipp 302 wheels.